Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe, and I'm a sales and marketing coach and LinkedIn lead generation service provider. I work with health, life, and mindset coaches and online service-based business owners to help them get more sales, shift their time to the client-generating activities instead of just the busy work, and overcome that social media overwhelm. Let's get into the show. If you've been stuck about how to get clients and how to grow your audience, you're going to love my free From Crickets to Clients series, taking you through how you can use a freebie funnel formula to make more sales. Don't worry if you're not super tech savvy. This breaks down for you how to get started when it comes to nurturing your audience, finding your audience, and giving them a quick win up front to build trust so that they want to work with you and you're building desire for your offer. So if you're curious about how all this works, you can go to haileyrowe.com/live event, all one word, and get the series instantly. Can't wait to hear how it goes for you. She is Standout Fit Pro Guru. That's your business name, Standout Fit Pro. And I wanted to welcome her because we're going to talk today about some tech tips for wellness professionals. She knows all of the things about CRMs, which we will define for you. And we're even going to share some ChatGPT tips if you've been using AI at all in your business. But Brandy, why don't you just kick off by sharing how did you get into the fitness and wellness field?
Oh, fitness and wellness field, such a long story. So that was very, very, very long ago, probably before most of your listeners are even born, I would dare say. I got into it because I was just started going to the gym and going to group fitness classes, and then became a group fitness instructor, then became a personal trainer, and then became management in that gym, and then tried to buy that gym. This is, of course, over the course of like 15 years, not like super, super quick, but over the course of 15 years, kind of transitioned through each of those positions, tried to buy that gym. And then after working on that project for months and months and months, I would dare say almost a year, the owner kind of backed out. Like at the 11th hour, he kind of decided it wasn't the thing that he wanted to do. So I was mad, and I said, all right, I'm going to buy the gym across the street, not really, but across town. And I'm going to build that business. And so I called up the owner of the rival or the competition and asked him if he wanted to sell his business. And he said, it's not for sale. And I was like, everything's for sale. So we had a conversation, and lo and behold, it was for sale. So I ended up buying that. It was a franchise facility not doing well. And I rebranded it as a local gym. The town I lived in at the time was called Pocatello. So we rebranded it as Pocatello Athletic Club. A couple years after that, I did the same thing with the CrossFit because we noticed people were, CrossFit was starting to become really popular and people were going to CrossFit and we were losing members to go to the CrossFit. So I was like, well, if you can't beat them, join them. So I called up the local CrossFit and asked if we could buy them out. And that guy actually was like, yeah, I'm trying to move. I need to move. It would be very helpful. So the timing was like perfect. And we ended up closing on that inside of 30 days. So I found myself owning two gyms, right? Like a really big gym with daycare and, tanning and group fitness and personal training and massage and like the whole thing. And then a CrossFit box. And they're very different worlds, very, very different worlds. But I learned a lot from managing and owning both of those facilities. One thing I would say I learned from CrossFit is community building. Like, I don't think anybody does community building like CrossFit. Like, they really do very, very good at community building. And then with the larger gym, Pocatello Athletic Club, I just really learned a lot about this management and team building and marketing and putting yourself out there and just getting gritty and building a business. So I sold both of them, sold CrossFit in 2017, sold Pocatello Athletic Club in 2018, and went home and started an online business and ended up creating a business helping brides lose weight for their wedding. Like, that was my niche. How I got into that niche is the craziest story because I was like 40 years old, been married for like 15 years. It was something that I wasn't like Twitter-pated about weddings, but ended up creating a business helping brides. And then I ended up transitioning to the business side of things, helping other people create the online businesses because in my past, before I became a gym owner, I was actually a CEC provider. So I would travel all over and do all these little workshops for gyms and the personal trainings and group fitness instructors. So I was able to provide CECs for like ACE and AFA at the time. So I kind of got back to my roots, which I really, really love this side of the business. So that was kind of long, but
what
a
journey. Yeah. I love that. And actually, it's so funny you mentioned the bride thing, because when I was in high school selling fitness DVDs, one of the things I did as like a little sub niche was I went to a bridal expo, had a table, and said like shedding for the wedding, and had this whole thing. So it's so funny.
Yeah. And instead of shedding for the wedding, we did sweating for the wedding. Yeah, we did sweating for the wedding. It's so fun. Like all the little things that you can like come up with, because we were like, oh gosh, losing weight for that special date. It was all of these like, fun things. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So anywho, okay. So we both, had a long journey. It sounds like you have an amazing background with the fitness field, and totally agree with you about the CrossFit observation. That is so interesting, and totally, I could see how community is something we can learn from them. But now I want to jump into the tech part. So with all these businesses you ran, were you at the time, were you tech savvy and making it work with tech, or did you miss some opportunities? Tell me a little bit about why you've now focused on CRMs. And let's actually, before we do, let's define what is a CRM in your words, because everybody kind of talks about it differently.
Yeah. So basically the CRM is just the tool that you're going to use to manage your customers. That's it. There's a bunch of CRMs out there. There's really crazy ones. There's really robust ones. There's very, very simple ones, but it's whatever tool or application or website that you're logging into where you're going to keep your clients' information, like their email address and their cell phone number, and you can tag them and do stuff like that. So in the most simplest terms, it's really just a customer management system is really what it is.
Okay. So now tell me about the tech, were you tech savvy and using it in all these businesses, or what were you?
Well, no, I would still probably not even consider myself like the tech person, at all. But I will tell you what you have to do as a business owner, and that's do the things. You have to figure it out. You have to, you're the only one that can do it. You know what I mean? So if tech has to happen, if there's an automation that has to happen, you got to figure it out, right? Especially when you're bootstrapping your businesses, because you can't afford to pay somebody to come in and do this stuff for you. So in the beginning, it was me. I was the one that had to go in and figure out how to run the systems and create the automations and get really scrappy and figure out how to use social media to bring in clients and bring in new members into the gym. So that responsibility fell to me, mostly because I hated QuickBooks, right? So my sister, who was my partner, she took the QuickBooks side of things because she knew it. And I was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll do this over here. You do that over there. So that responsibility did fall to me.
Okay. So with the CRM, tell me a little bit more about what can that do for you? What kind of things should new entrepreneurs be automating with the CRM?
Oh man. Okay. So if you're new to the space, if you're new to really, this is going to apply to everybody who's listening. It doesn't matter what you're trying to build a business in. This is going to be applicable to you, right? Your number one job every single day as a business owner is to lead gen. That is your sole job. Every morning you're lead generation, marketing my business is my number one priority every single day. Because if you're not generating leads for your business, you're eventually going to run out of business, leads, and you're not going to have a business. And I tell our clients, your marketing your business is more important than delivering to your clients. That's secondary, right? People have a hard time accepting that, but I'm no, you got to show up and market your business first, and then you deliver, on client support, and you deliver on all of that. But marketing is the first and foremost and the most important thing. So if we think about what tech or what automations and things that we should really be implementing into our business, it's going to be first anything that can help you make lead generation more easier for you, kind of make the job easier for you, and something that you're going to do on a regular basis. At the most basic level, I would say that's going to be delivering a lead magnet of some sort, right? And we probably all know exactly what lead magnets are. It's just this cool thing that you're going to give people in exchange for their email and their cell phone number, right? But the CRM, what it's going to do, and depending upon what CRM you use, you're going to have the ability to send text messages or not send text messages to people as confirmations. So some CRMs out there don't collect cell phone numbers, right? Or they don't have the ability to send a text message to your client. So I'm not talking about spammy text messages. I'm talking about, hey, congratulations, you just grabbed my free resource for 10 ways to lose 10 pounds this month. I sent it to your inbox. Did you see it yet? And then they're getting this reminder on their cell phone of, oh, that's right, I just opted into that. They're probably not calling it opted in. They're going to say, I just grabbed that and it's in my inbox. I'm going to go look and see, right? And plus they're seeing you on their phone and you're not actually sitting there like sending the text message because ain't nobody got time for that, nor who can keep track of all of that. So at the bare minimum, y'all need to be having the ability to email your clients and text your clients, because it's kind of a non-negotiable at this point. If you're building any business, lead generation and getting your email list built up and your client list and your prospects list, whatever you want to call it, getting that built up. That's the most basic thing.
Okay. And what about, when you say text message marketing, why is text something you really like to incorporate?
So I love text messaging, and let me tell you guys why. I'll tell you a story that just happened, that we just did this in our business just a couple months ago. So whenever we're launching, and this means we're opening enrollment for our courses, whenever we're launching, we'll hold like a series of free trainings. And you guys probably know exactly what that means. We're showing up, serving people, getting people to opt in, getting people to sign up for these free trainings. We're going to show up, we're going to wow and dazzle them, we're going to nurture them, we're going to love on them, and then we're going to make an offer to help them and invite them to work with us inside of our programs, right? So typically every business is trying to, when you do something like this, you're trying to reach your current clients who are already on your email list and inside your CRM, the ones that are already in your ecosystem. And then you're trying to reach new people and you're trying to lead gen, right? Because that's the most important thing. So you're loving up on the ones you already have and you're trying to get them to come to these events, because you know the more they see you, the quicker they're going to like you, the quicker they're going to love you, the quicker they're going to trust you and want to work with you. And then you got to bring more people into your business, right? Lead generation, the most important thing that you do. So the reason I love text messaging is because when you have people's text messages, when you're in launch and when you're in promotion, you can send a text message to people that lets them know you're in launch or you're in promotion. And now you're not going to say something like, hey, we're launching or we're in promotion. But what you can say is something very similar to what we just did in our last launch. We were like 4 or 5 days before we started, we'd been doing, a 14-day runway up to it. So we'd been running ads and we had been doing our email marketing. We'd been doing lead gen and like a lead magnet, offering lead magnets and doing all that kind of stuff. So just a couple of days before the event starts, we send a text message out to the entire database. And it simply says, hey, I noticed you haven't signed up for this training yet. Did you hear about it? And then it goes on and says, here's what we're going to do. If this interests you, simply respond yes, and I'll automatically register you. We got hundreds of registrations. Like people, all they got to do is everybody's going to listen. Here's the thing, y'all. Everybody's going to look at their text message, whether they're just opening it to clear it out or whatever. Everybody's going to open their text message and getting on people's phone where they're going to open it and then saying something very valuable about how you're going to solve the problem that they're trying to solve. And then giving them a very, very easy way of saying yes, where they don't have to go in and enter their name and their email and all that. All they got to do is say yes. Boom, and they're in. It's super valuable. It's very similar to, automating, like using ManyChat and Instagram nowadays, where you're like keyword marketing, say the word outdoor and I'll send you XYZ. I just opted into something today that was like that. So it's very similar to that, but you're getting straight to their phone and you're getting straight to people who are familiar with you, who already know you, like you, love you, trust you. They probably have already been to something and you're giving them another opportunity. So that is why text marketing, and they call it SMS marketing. That's why it's extremely valuable.
I love that. Yeah. Okay. So for somebody who maybe wants to start to automate more in their business, would you say that, I know there's CRMs that you may recommend over others. Is there any advice you give to somebody new wondering where to start with that?
Yeah, so we have a boutique version of GHL that we offer in our business. It's called Client Connections. And of course, I'm going to recommend that because it's customized for fitness and wellness professionals. It's got all of the funnels that you need. It has all of the workflows that you need. It has scripts like the one that I just talked about. I would recommend trying something that is an all-in-one platform instead of trying to integrate all these separate platforms with each other to get everything to work together. For example, there's a lot of funnel builders out there, and there's a lot of course hosting platforms out there, but very few of them offer all of the benefits and all of the components that you need in order to have like a comprehensive strategy. So for example, like Kajabi doesn't do text messaging. ClickFunnels, they don't do text messaging. You're then going to need to go find an additional service for text messaging and have those two integrate with each other using like Zapier. And that gets clunky. And guess what? Integrations fail. So you really want to find something that's affordable. Okay, because when you're bootstrapping and you're getting started, you need to keep as much money in your business as possible. You do not need expensive tech. You do not need expensive things. Keep it very, very affordable. Find something that has everything you need, and it's out there, I promise you. And then choose a platform and roll with it and learn it and stay with it. And don't overthink platform checking. Like, don't sit there and compare platforms. Find one and go, right? Too many people spend too much time comparing and trying to figure out which one's the best to save themselves $5. And it's like, just find one and go.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. And what about ChatGPT? So you mentioned that a little bit. How are you using that with anything in your business right now?
Okay, so like ChatGPT is basically my best friend right now. So it's the person who I probably talk to the most every day. Not really, but really. Okay. So my family teases me and they're like, "What'd Chatty say?" And I'm like, "Well, let me just tell you what Chatty said." Like last night, I literally asked ChatGPT how to peel a mango because it's extremely difficult. And I was sitting here for a week trying to figure it out. And it gave me a beautiful breakdown of how to slice into a mango. But from a business standpoint, at the bare minimum, like let's think about like wellness and fitness professionals, things that you guys can integrate in the way you can use ChatGPT. First of all, you can upload your content into ChatGPT and you can say, "Here's this post. I want you to create 3 more posts just like it that have a slightly different spin." You can take your videos, your live videos, and you can upload your live videos. Now, right now, not all of the AI has the capability to watch your videos, but they like to read your videos. So you can take your transcription, you can upload your transcription into ChatGPT, and you can say, "Give me a 1,500 word blog, then give me 3 posts for Facebook, give me 2 carousel swipes for Instagram, and create an image that matches." And it will just blop it right on out there. And then within like 2 or 3 minutes, you have everything. In fact, we have an entire custom GPT that we made in our business called the Viral Spiral that does just that. And in fact, I didn't even plan on offering that today, but we can totally offer that to anybody who's listening. Anybody who's listening live now or who wants to watch the podcast. But we have created a custom GPT where you can literally upload it, and we've already programmed it. And what it's going to do is it's going to create a blog for you. It's going to write 2 emails so that you can send it to your audience. It's going to create like 3 or 4 written posts. It's going to create 2 carousel swipes and statements for like threads. So it's really valuable. And all you got to do is just drop your information in there, and then boom, it goes. And we use it every week in our business, every single week. Other ways, let me expand upon that though a little bit of other ways that you can do this. I'm currently using it right now to help me put on some muscle and drop a little body fat. So this will be really interesting to you guys listening, you guys wellness professionals, because if you offer like macro assessments or you like do custom meal planning for your clients, you can literally jump over into ChatGPT and say, "Here are the measurements, here's the body fat, here's the age of the client. We want to drop 1 pound of fat a week for the next 12 weeks. The basal metabolic rate is this," and then it will totally map out the macros. And then you can go in every day into chat and you can say, "I just had a fajita with, chicken and blah, blah," and it will literally calorie it out, macro it out for you. So those are 2 very, very simple ways, but here's a profound way that I think most people don't think about. And I just did this last night with Chatty, and jump into Chat GPT and say, "I am a health coach, and I'm a brand new health coach, and I'm trying to find more clients on LinkedIn, or I'm trying to find more clients on Instagram, or I'm trying to find more clients on Facebook, or whatever it is, or I'm trying to start my business. How can you help me grow my business? And chat will tell you all of the things that it can help you do based on where you're at in your business right now and where you want to go. And it will ask you follow-up questions. And I did it last night, and I asked it how it could help me grow my podcast. And it created all of these things it could do for me, and all of these automations and emails that it could write. It's amazing. It really is. So if you're a business owner in today's world and you're not using ChatGPT, even in just some very, very basic ways, like what we just talked about with the viral spiral, you've got to get on it, because you're spending a lot of time unnecessarily on things that can be automated and that can be really done well and in your voice.
Yeah, totally agree. There's a couple ways. I mean, one of the things I've been going through with my inner circle clients is like how to use it for your brand sheet with everything you need, and use that for content and emails and carousel posts and all the things. But we also, I'm similar to you in that I want to make like a custom thing where they could ask questions to it with all of our materials and stuff, because I think the other thing is, if you don't stay ahead on that, it's like, well, why work with you if they can go to ChatGPT, right? Yeah. And the other thing we're doing is we have a habit app where they can track their business habits, and there's a little AI thing that helps them with their habits and patterns and all that kind of stuff. Like, hey, and they can chat more from like a mindset perspective with it. So my question though for you is, and let's end it on that, for the health and wellness coaches listening, like, well, if my clients can just go to ChatGPT and get their macros and get all the things, why would they want to work with me? Why, how do I still stand out?
Well, first of all, they don't probably realize they can do that. That's probably the first, the first answer is they probably don't realize they can. And second of all, you know what chat can't do? Keep me accountable, keep me motivated, right? Like tell me that he's waiting for me at the gym. Those kind of things, right? Help talk me out of feeling frustrated. Like AI and tech is so amazing, but it does not replace human. It really doesn't. And for those of you guys who are looking for clients, and I mean, that's all of us, everybody who has a business, we're all looking for clients. You cannot replace human with tech. You really can't. Your clients are buying you. They can get workouts from YouTube. They've been able to get you workouts from YouTube for 15 years or more, right? They can Google how to lose body fat. They don't want to do that. They want to buy from you. So it's not the workouts they're getting from you. It's not the nutrition lessons or the meal plans they're getting from you. It's you. It's your personality. It's the fun way you show up. It's the way you deliver your lessons. It's the way you show up on live video. It's the way you carry yourself with just everything about you that they're either attracted to. And they just are like, yes, she's the person for me. She's the one that I've been waiting for. So it's you, right? Now you can use AI to make your life easier and better. And you can use AI to help streamline what you're doing in your business and deliver your stuff to your clients better. But you cannot use AI to 100% replace the you component. Even Hailey, like what you had mentioned a little bit ago, like you're training AI to know how you would answer questions. Like that's what we're doing as well. Like we're training it to be able to answer questions, but it's still never going to be able to answer exactly like you would, right? People still want you. So when people purchase from you, when somebody commits, it's an intimate decision, and it's the highest of compliments, because they're telling you, I trust you. You're the person for me. You're the one who I want to have help me with this problem that I've had for a very long time. So it's you that they're buying.
I love that. That is so true. And same thing with like, it's not going to replace community. It's not going to replace, an experiential thing that some people want. They want that experience of working with a coach and having that accountability, or going to a retreat, or whatever it is that you do. So I think that's a great piece of advice you just shared. And where can people stay connected with you? I know you have a free gift. I know there's other ways to connect. So share all of that with us.
Yeah. So lots of fun places. So let's go through all the places. Facebook, I'm Brandy Bird Clark on Facebook. We have a Facebook group called Successful Online Fit Pros, and we talk a lot about, marketing and sales and how to grow your business in there. On Instagram, I'm the Messy Hair Millionaire, and we have a podcast called Beyond the Sets and Reps, and we talk all about the business side of fitness and wellness and what it takes to grow a business in today's world. But yeah, I can offer anybody the Viral Spiral. That's a custom GPT that's already going to create all that content for you. It's going to create 2 emails. It's going to create a blog post, about 3 or 4 written posts, carousels, and images to go with it. But we also have a couple of different resources. I'm not sure which one you guys will be interested in, so I'll just list them both. But we have a list of 90 days of social media content ideas for the fitness professional. This is all content ideas specifically for fitness and wellness professionals who feel like whenever they go to post, their brain kind of just pauses and they feel like a complete noob, like they don't know what they're supposed to say. We've got a list of 90 things that you can create content about. And then we have a list of 30 ways to make $500 in your online fitness business by next week as well. So if any of those interest you or pique your interest, well, I'm sure Hailey will drop those links in the show notes, and you guys can grab those there.
Yep, we will put those in the show notes links at HaileyRowe.com. And thank you so much, Brandy. This has been so helpful.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to this podcast, and if it's really helpful for you, I'd really appreciate if you share it and or leave a written podcast review. This tells the podcast sites that our show is useful and it will be promoted to more people that way. Thanks again. If you've been feeling like getting clients is harder than you thought and you're not even sure where to start when it comes to marketing, or you've been marketing for a while and it hasn't been working, I want to share with you a video from my clients. It's a compilation video of testimonials to show you what is possible when you put your mind to it, when you have a path, and when you have support. It is something that I want you to listen to with an open mind to realize you are capable of this too. Why not you? And if you are curious about my Fast Way framework that I use with clients to help them grow their clientele and establish their business online and locally, you can book a free consult with me at HaileyRowe.com if you're curious. I can't wait to chat with you, and I'll talk to you soon.
I think like if you're hesitant about working with someone, regardless of any business coach, I think just make sure that they're like a good fit for you and that they can actually follow through. Like look at their testimonials. Like, I don't know. I think like all the testimonials I've seen from people who've worked with you are like incredible because you're incredible. Like you have so much value to provide your clients. And that's like what I've experienced is that it's like 1,000 times been worth the investment, like by far.
I had this massive like injection of followers because I was showing up so consistently. I was showing up as an authority figure. I was really confident about what I offered, and I really knew exactly who I was speaking to.
Out of it, like I found, like I mentioned, my ideal niche, clients who are invested and who want your support as well as need it, which I think is so important. And then really branched out into like what was important to me was community and where I live. And now I have 2 corporate wellness companies that I work with on a part-time basis. But out of that, such a wide variety of potential clients too.
You were so great in just responding to like messaging stuff, website, all of those pieces. It was like, I just felt like I don't know, it just gave me so much comfort in having your eyes on it and your feedback and having that partner to help me. Because I felt like for me, those were blockers. I was like, my messaging is, I don't know, like what my offer is, and like, should I change it? All these like sort of foundational pieces you need to move forward. I felt like I could just like boom, boom, boom.
But specifically, I'm just so blessed that I chose Hailey. She changed my life. She changed my business forever, and I'm still a client of hers. I'm still working with her 2 years later, continuously reaching new goal milestones every month. So I really encourage you to connect with her, to really listen to her. I've seen and I've taken numerous other programs, past and present. I do look around to see, hey, is there something else going on out there? And when I'm looking at it and I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, Hailey already has that built into her program. She has it all built into one, like all of these different, philosophies and tools and all of of these things just the whole psychology behind it. She has it in her program. And not only does she have it in her program, she has it like an organized journey, which I really appreciated. So I didn't have to piece and part that stuff together. I didn't have to waste time figuring out, because for me, trying to figure it out took so much time, cost me so much money, and created so much stress.
I've taken a couple of free webinars online, just trying to see what's out there. And a lot of them are bunk, not much information. But Hailey's, she offers a lot of information and a lot of really good things to get you going. So I have a lot of things on my list that I need to start going on, and very exciting.
And so when we worked together, I started my Facebook group. I started having more intentional posts on my Instagram. I got clear about the niche that I would like to help, and it took few attempts, but we got there. So she was very patient with me. And what I also liked about our work together is that she gives very good feedback on the materials that you provide her, very detailed, and with the good and the bad, and I felt like really taken care of.
If there are any coaches out there that are considering hiring a coach, if you're just starting your business, if you're into your business and just need a little bump, I highly, highly, highly recommend Hailey to get you there. She will see it through. She will hold your hand, guide you, ask you the right questions, push you when you need to be pushed, but she'll be there every step of the way.
And even with a small amount of time between a full-time job as well as then part-time coaching, she was always there to support, no matter how much time you had to put into your coaching position or where you needed to be and what your goals were. She knew how to get you there. So really cannot recommend her enough, like highly recommend.
Hey, thanks so much for watching that video. And if you want to connect directly to get my fast track strategy to your next clients, go ahead and DM me the word strategy, and I can't wait to share.